This is BDF podcast number 7. In this podcast, we talk about life, personal development, and all different crazy stories that we've just running through in life and different topics. It's crazy. So stay tuned, listen. If you like it, share it with your friends, download it on the iTunes, on Stitcher. Do whatever you can. Get the word out. Let us know your feedback in the comment section. And here we go. This is the BDF podcast, Smokey Nights. We're sitting here with Chemo.
Yo.
John.
Right here.
And VD. This is Gabe in the house, smoking on some hookah. I think I got some watermelon. Let's see. I think I packed it with watermelon mint. I think John, I think he's smoking. I think I packed that one. That is also a mint guava.
Mint guava, yes.
I believe so. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. It's one of my favorite flavors. I like that minty flavor. Yeah, man. So today we just talk about life, shoot the shit. What's there to talk about, guys? I mean, there's some crazy ass subjects in the world. I know Vincent wants to talk about some personal development and how that affected his life for the better. He has a history with personal development, and I think it changed his life. I've known him without the personal development, or when his growth into personal development. I've seen the change. I've seen the worth ethic change. I've seen everything change, and I know it's helped him. There's some few books that he always recommends to all of us to read, and some podcasts even to listen to, as far as personal development. I don't know, VD, what do you like to read? And
Well, I think personal development really starts with association. Before reading books, before listening to good audio and watching YouTube videos. I mean, it's just association. I mean, in high school, there were people I hang out with that, man, it was awful. I mean, I think number one thing about personal development is association, who you hang out with. You know, like the saying goes, if you hang out with 10 broke people, you're bound to be the 11th. If you hang out with 10 people that are striving for greatness, you're bound to strive for greatness as well.
damn, you hang out with people that smoke hookah, you're bound to smoke hookah.
That's just a given.
That's just a given.
And yeah, Bring the Fire is a hookah company that goes out, serves hookah on at different nightclubs, bars, and different venues using vapor heads. And yeah, we have a little success. It's not massive success, but we have some success where we generated and we created a 6-figure business. But I think it's really the drive. At the end of the day, I think it's really the drive based on what we learned in the past. All the books that we read, all the audios we listened to.
Other associations.
Seminars. I mean, I could probably sit here and based on just us here sitting here, we probably spent thousands and thousands of dollars taking buses to seminars.
Bro, we drove, me and you and a few other people, rented a car, drove to Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
In the storm. It was crazy.
Yes, stuck in a snowstorm in New Mexico.
In New Mexico. And I was driving the car at like 60 miles an hour, and it's a snowstorm, and it, swear to God, looked like light speed.
Yeah.
Because all the snow, the white snow just going. So it looked like we're like light speed ahead. And just snow just everywhere. Dude, we didn't sleep. Black ice, everything, just to get that knowledge to come back and like, wow, that really helped or changed my life or get the new perspective on business. Dude, it was a huge sacrifice for me at that time. I know it was a sacrifice for Vincent at that time because, I mean, we didn't have that much money.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We stayed in a room together. We went to Walmart and bought food in Dallas, and we were eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep. And we were the best dressed.
Jelly sandwiches, bro. What's wrong with that?
Not for 4 days straight.
Nah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's like you guys went to jail for a hot second.
Dude, we're the only ones in suits and ties, and everybody was in shorts and flip flops and sandals, and I was like,
and our suits didn't fit us.
And it's-
It was
yeah.
probably hand-me-downs from our parents.
Wait.
Hand-me-downs.
There's a big storm, but everyone was in shorts. And...
Well, that was going through New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Until we got to Dallas.
Until we got to Dallas.
Gotcha.
Yeah, going through New Mexico was crazy.
Hmm.
It was raining the whole away. Actually, like the biggest part was driving through Dallas, driving through Texas on the way to Dallas.
Mm.
It was storming like crazy, and I felt like once you go from California to to Texas, that's nothing. When you hit Texas to drive all the way to Dallas, that's a mission, bro.
Mm.
They're like, I'm in Texas. Damn, I'm not even half. I'm like barely halfway.
What year was this?
Oh,
I don't know. We went with David Tran and
RJ,
It was just us four, and you and I
Yeah.
drove the whole way.
the whole way.
Hmm.
Those guys were sleeping in the back.
Well, I remember the first time I met you, like at an event. We were in a minivan. Do you remember that? We went to go pick up someone at the
Oh,
airport.
bro, that was crazy.
Yeah.
We were in Oklahoma.
We're in Oklahoma.
Yeah, we were in Oklahoma. That was a big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
just say my eyes were always.
We had a cool session before
Yeah,
that.
we had a great session.
And then we decided to go on the freeway when it was pouring also, and
It was snowy. There was black ice. We
it
passed
was
by
I think
a lot of accidents.
we literally passed by like 10 cars that had gotten in accidents. It was
And-
crazy, and
and our eyes were red, and we weren't on the swim team at that time.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
Wow.
was like, damn, I need to clear my head for all this education.
I remember that day, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Hey, who?
But
I don't know.
think, yeah, but I think that
You had
those,
braids, I think.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I had
you did have braids.
braids.
It's crazy.
My hair
Wow.
was long. Long hair don't care.
But it's those times when you are sitting there and with a notepad and pen listening and gathering information that really change everything. I was actually listening to one of the speakers on YouTube not too long ago, and he was talking about why. I think it was a few weeks ago. I think I sent it to you, right, Kareem?
I think so.
And he was talking about your why, and a lot of times we forget why we are working our ass off, and I think at the end of the day, you realize, like, man, I work my ass off because of this person or because of my kids. Now I realize that, man, there's much more to life just than a dollar bill, than a Benjamin Franklin, a George Washington, a Abe Lincoln, whatever it is. It's more than just money. It's what you can do with the money.
Yeah.
Over that period of time. And I think a lot of people forget that. It's like we work so fucking hard, and at the end of the day, you're like, man, why am I working so fucking hard? What's the reason? What's the purpose? Well, if you're just working hard just for a paycheck, just to pay your bills, just to keep afloat, that's all you're gonna do for the rest of your life, I believe. But if you have a purpose where you're going, and you say, look, I'm gonna do this because of this person or for this reason, or I want to take my parents or retire my parents or take a vacation, whatever the reason is, at the end of the day, that's more meaningful.
Well, I always thought about like this too, because my wife was like, I want to do a vlog, right? And I was like, okay, you want to do a vlog? That's cool. What's the reason why you want to do a vlog? And she gave me all these reasons, and I was like, I don't think that's a strong enough reason. Right now, you're not making any income for us. That's cool. I don't want you to. But if you don't do a vlog or if you don't do anything, what will happen? What's going to happen? I also thought about like, if I don't do this, what's the penalty? What are my options? Right? If my options are horrible, then I'm gonna, I'm just saying like, there's a lot of different ways to make money, but if you find a way and you stick to it, what happens if you don't do it? What's gonna happen if you don't do it? Well, you're not gonna make money. You're not gonna support the family. Your kids are gonna starve. Shit, man, I got to do something, right? So there's a lot of different ways, but I always thought about like, well, if I don't go to that convention, what's gonna happen to my life? If I don't read that book, what's gonna happen? And if I don't like that outcome, damn, I got to do that. I always thought about like, I need to do it because if I don't, I'm not gonna like the outcome if I don't. I may not like doing that thing, like reading the freaking book. Like, come on, guys, I don't like to do it, but I won't like myself if I don't do it, and I like the outcome if I do it. You get it?
Yeah. You don't like the act of, but you like the result.
I like the result. You know.
Yeah.
So
like-
if my wife doesn't do the blog, what's going to be the result? Well, she's going to have to find some money doing somewhere else. She's going to have to go get a job. Well, you don't want to get a job
So she wants to do the vlog to generate money.
to generate income. Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
just for fun.
Right.
But mostly like generate some income and I don't know, have fun with it and generate income. If not, she could get a job. She's overqualified for a lot of accountant jobs. Do you really want to get a job? So if you don't do this, are you gonna go want to get a job with 2 kids?
Yeah, we should do a vlog.
We should do. We should do.
We should all record each, our lives daily, and then edit it. So it'd be like JP driving 2 hours. BD, your crazy commute down here to OC all the time. Gabe in the LBC, me doing whatever I do, and then just combine it into a weekly vlog or something.
It's really fun. Like over the past weekend, I was able just to capture my nephew's birthday. Just for the weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome video,
And
by the way.
Awesome
Awesome
video.
video.
A Chuck
I
E.
liked
Cheese,
it.
and
Yeah.
it was just.
Where's the
Hi,
video
Kristen.
at?
Huh?
Where's the video at? It's on Facebook
It's
or
on YouTube.
it's on YouTube?
Yeah, I sent it
You
to
sent
you.
it.
I'm missing a lot, man. You posted it up?
Yeah, on Saturday.
All right, I'll check
It's,
it
it's
out.
not. It's not public. It's not public.
Yeah,
It's
it's
more
really
just for the
cool. It
family.
was actually really cool little video. I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
I'm gonna check
I
it
love
out.
the end. He's falling
Oh
asleep.
yeah. Yeah.
So now you gotta watch it.
Yeah, now I gotta check it out, bro.
But it's it's just those little things. It's the priceless moments. I wish I can do it every single day. But with most of us, we work a full-time job. We're running a business, and we don't have the time to, or we make the excuses. We don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the number one thing that a lot of people fail in life, or they don't achieve. Not fail in life. A lot of people are successful at what they do, but living their dream. And we have a lot of friends that live their dream.
Yeah, one of our good friends, one of my best friends, is in Thailand living his dream. Freaking living it up in Thailand, going fishing because that's what he likes to do.
He has
He's there for a month.
He has a daily vlog,
Yeah, daily vlog.
just like Casey.
Yeah.
And so it's just cool as heck to see a lot of our friends that are having success, and I think that's one of the things we want to do. We want to pay it forward, like what we created here with Bring the Fire. We want to pass it forward, and I think that's the reason the last few months we worked so darn hard to create the Udemy course, so that we can pass the knowledge of how to build or create a 6-figure business, and to have other people have the same success.
Yeah. Coming
Because-
soon, by the way. Coming soon. Very
Yes.
soon. Udemy course.
And I think that's the number one thing that you do is once you have a certain amount of success, you pass it forward. You pay it forward. You pay it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you can't be greedy, because somebody's gonna find out and do it better than you. Might as well pass on the knowledge and help other people have the same success.
And I think like everything that we're sharing right now, and I know I haven't said much, but a lot of times, like myself, as part of my personal development, I've actually learned to be slow to speak and quick to listen. And I know a lot of times people like to, just, share their feelings, share their emotions, or just, without really listening to the knowledge that's being put out there that you could actually absorb and learn and grow from. Because I know with all you guys, for the amount of years that I've known you guys, and Gabe and Vincent, I've only known you guys maybe about going on like probably 4 years now, and I know in that short amount of time, I mean, I've learned a lot from you guys. I've learned a lot from Kareem. I've learned a lot from many different people, and it's just being sometimes just quick to listen. You could be in a room full of people and absorb absolutely nothing. being stuck in your own head, your own way of thinking. It could be you could have a simple mind and not even know it, and just thinking your ways are right, your way of doing things is gonna work out. When in reality, you have somebody next to you that can actually share some knowledge with you that could really help you grow as a person. I never thought in a million years that before that, we'd come together and start a little business. And as quick as we did it, and it was just we sat down and we got into that mindset of, you know what, we're going to start off simple. We're going to sit down every Monday and jot things down and get the business rolling, and I think that's one thing that's always stood out to me is being slow to speak and quick to listen.
So like always being present, basically.
Present, exactly.
Like your mind and everything, just being present. Take advantage of every opportunity, I guess. Because you never know, like what message is coming from sitting here, from somebody listening to our podcast right now, driving in the car, somebody on YouTube just at work and got earphones in their ear listening to this. I guess you never know what you're gonna get from any situation, like you're saying, JP. So I guess you just always got to be present. Just never know.
That deals with like being humble all the time, because for example, somebody that's not humble, they're not listening to you. They're thinking of what they're gonna say, So a lot of times when I'm talking to people, I'm waiting for their time to respond. If they're sitting, if I'm talking to people, or I even check myself too. Like, hey, dude, am I listening or am I thinking of what to say?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times people, if you talk to somebody and try it out on your friends. If you're talking to them, telling them information or whatever, you're learning from them, or you're trying to teach them something. How quick is their response? Is their response like really fast, or are they really absorbing the information, thinking about it, and then responding with a question, or responding like that? Because if I'm just talking to you and then boom, you responded back to me. Are you really thinking about what I just said, or is it your ego saying no, my way's better?
Yeah.
It's all ego, dude. It's all ego.
So then when my wife says, repeat what I just said,
Yeah.
I should just be like, well, I'm really absorbing all the info,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So I don't want to repeat it
Yeah,
right away.
exactly. He's like, give me a second. Let me absorb it. Let me think about it.
Say it one more
Let me
time.
play it out in my
Let me
mind.
play it in my mind. Because it's like, dude, it's like this. It's like, are you reacting or are you responding? Right? If I push you, right, are you going to react and push me back? Or are you going to respond and think about a way to, if you want to go after me, or are you going to respond like, hey, why'd you push me, man? That's not cool. I thought we're boys, or something like that, Or you're going to push you back. And that's the same thing with like fighting, like people get into fights. There's no reason to freaking fight. Like this whole thing, like in Anaheim that happened. I thought it was pretty. I'm not, the Anaheim thing with the KKK rally and stuff like that. They have the freedom of speech. I'm not with them. The KKK, they're horrible people. I do believe that. But, should it be a peaceful rally? It should have been a peaceful rally. But people reacted instead of responded.
Yeah.
With response, you're like, hey, man, that's not cool. Let's think of a solution. Like it's freedom of speech. Cool. Freedom of speech. Let's have a peaceful rally. This is my theory. This is your theory. But the reaction, that's where the fight brings in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there shouldn't have been a fight. I mean, there shouldn't be anyone fighting.
Yeah.
You should let them do whatever they want to do, as long as it doesn't cause anyone any harm. It's just their opinion.
Yeah, it's their opinion.
And just let it be. And if they do cause trouble, then, I'm sure the police officers will handle it, or whoever will handle it. But, us as people, we shouldn't get involved and start creating trouble.
Yeah. It just made us Mexicans look worse. The damn violent people. But yeah, man, I really believe it's all like, you're responding. Are you responding to the conversation, or are you reacting to the conversation? Are you thinking about what they're actually saying, or are you thinking about what to say to them back?
It's like Psychology 101. I remember I once read a book, It was about psychology, and it always stick to me. Do you respond with a hot mind or a rational mind?
Yeah.
And the rational mind always wins in the end.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're taking the time. It's kind of like if somebody cusses you out, and your first thing that you do is you cuss them right out. You know, you cuss them back.
Yep.
What if you just sat there and let's just say you let them cuss you out and you say, hey man, what was the reason behind you cussing me out right now?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you put them in a different spot?
Yeah, I would.
You know, and just calmly just say, was there a reason behind you cussing me out? And listen to what they have to say. You know, you'll probably shock them and like, wow, your reaction was totally different. I expected you to lash back out because that's mostly what people will do.
Yeah.
You know, like screw you. You know, 9 out of 10 times. What if you said, why are you saying screw me, sir? What did I do to cause that? You know.
Hey,
So,
and you know that person might be right. I might
but-
agree. Hey, I would have been this. I would have said screw you too. Man.
Yeah.
Like you come to think of it, man, dude, you're right, man. I was a dick. You
yeah, I
know?
was being wrong. You know what? I apologize for my wrong, and let's move forward.
Let's move forward.
You know.
Dude. I don't know, man. I think everybody should listen to that and just. I think if everybody just responds instead of reacts, dude, the world would be a lot better place.
Yeah.
I don't think we had so many wars and feuds and racism and I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's so much going on out there right now.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's so close to home. It's like I mean, by where I live, just around my neighborhood, like they've been averaging a shooting a day.
Wow.
A shooting a day.
Are these
And,
gangs?
Yeah, gangs and I don't know who else is it, but majority of gangs, you know. And like there was this one individual in the middle of the day. It was about 2:30 in the afternoon, I believe, that he had a shootout with a police officer. They said he wasn't on drugs or anything. He said they seen a police officer. The police officer attempted to pull him over. He pulled out his gun and started shooting. You know, and it just gets you thinking, like, how do you respond to that? You know, but it's great. There's a lot going on out there right now. You know, like it could be that guy that you cussed out. You know, he's not gonna cuss you out. He's gonna react with his strap.
Yeah.
Very hostile now.
Very hostile. Yeah.
I hear if you put a gun in the freezer though, it'll trigger the lock or trigger the.
It won't fire.
It'll
It'll
lock the
freeze
trigger.
so you
Yeah,
don't fire.
so it won't fire. You ever hear about that?
But why would you do that?
We had a friend say that
You
know,
know, it's
Oh.
a story.
cops came to his house and he had pulled a gun out on someone or something.
Well,
They said
I think
for our safety.
Yeah, he's coming home late from his business. He was driving home, and there was a couple of guys following him, and from his business. He left the business. They followed him to his house. So he drove down the street, and he carries a gun with him, and he was walking inside. So he went back to his trunk, loaded up his gun. As he was walking, there was two guys walking behind him and two guys in front of him. So the two guys in front of him, correct me if I'm wrong. He started walking faster to the two guys in front of him, and as he was walking faster, the two guys in front of him got scared because he was walking with confidence,
Authority.
with posture, with authority, and he put out a gun on those two guys, and those guys ran. He turned around, the other two guys were bolted.
Well, yeah, when he was close to them, he cocked the gun and then
Yeah,
the bullet flew out.
Yeah, cocked the
And-
gun. And they on the same day called 911. He was chasing those two guys that ran off. They saw. He called 911 with the gun in his hand. Said, "I'm gonna go ahead and just those guys trying to rob me. I'm chasing him down with the gun. He's licensed to carry." And then the lady on the phone, the 911 operator, she was like, "Hey, all right, just go home, sir. Just go home." He finally went home, and she's like, "Go ahead and put the gun in the freezer, lock your doors, and the officers will come." And when the officers came, the officer told me, "Yeah, the reason why the lady told you to put the gun in the freezer is because it locks the trigger or it freezes the trigger or
Something like that. Yeah.
and it won't fire when
Oh wow.
when the gun's frozen."
Learn something new.
Learn something
See,
new.
there I go. I listened.
It's just interesting, but it all comes down to those guys that just say those guys trying to rob them. What were they thinking? What was the reason why they were doing it?
Desperation.
Desperation, money,
Greed.
whatever it is. Those are things that can be avoided. Those are things that those guys can go out and get a job. They can go out and start their own business. They could done something different, but why would they? Why did they choose to go ahead and try to rob that person that night?
I mean, countless reasons.
Right?
Laziness, man. The way they grew up, they weren't taught right from wrong. It's so many things, but it sucks people like that, because I remember, there's always violence. I remember a story about my dad in New Jersey when I lived in Jersey. Him and his friend were walking home, and they went to the liquor store or whatever. They went, probably Arabs, picking up cigarettes as they do. He didn't tell me the whole story. And walking home, his friend got maced, straight in the eye by just some little thug kids, like just walking by. They didn't even steal anything from them. They didn't even, try to rob them. It was simply an act of ignorance, just, and violence. I'm gonna pepper spray this guy in the eye. I mean, he's okay now, but it's just people grow up differently, man. They grow up in the wrong neighborhoods. They grow up. It's all kind of coming back around to what you started saying in the beginning of this podcast about your associations.
Yep.
You hang around with thugs, you'll be a thug. It's simple.
Simple as that.
I think I read a story about a teacher. I think it's in South Carolina. I could be wrong, but he was a teacher, and where he teaches, he's an elementary school teacher, and he teach in the hood. Define hoods, just very low income area, very bad, a lot of crimes. It's just really, really bad. And so he created a day where it's dress for success. So he makes his students, it's called a gentleman's club, and all the boys dressed up. All the boys dressed up in suits to go to school. And he thought, yeah, the reason why I did because when you dress up, you never see. The one thing he taught the kids how you never see a guy in tuxedo get in a fight, unless it's James Bond, right?
Right.
But in reality, is that you never seen a guy in tuxedo or a suit, that's successful and is a business owner, like really get into trouble, unless they're in a courtroom or something different. But a lot of times those kids, and I think that, I'm a soon-to-be parent, so is Gabe, and you guys have kids. We always want the best for our children, and we want the best for them, no matter what, right? We work our butt off. We do whatever to give them the best. And so those kids in South Carolina, wherever teacher is at, he just wants the best for those kids. That's his job. That's his passion. He's like, I want to give those kids the best. I want to teach them the best because maybe they go in a household that's really bad.
Yeah.
Brothers, dad, maybe they grew up with no dad. Whatever the situation is, he wants the best for those kids. And he's just giving back. He's paying it forward.
Yeah, you gotta instill those ideas, man, or those
Mindsets.
Yeah, the mindset. When they're young, like, me being a soccer coach for my daughter's team, it's like, I have a thing as a coach. When all the girls are lined up, I'm like, how do you feel? And they all respond as a team, and I love it. They're like, we feel great. And if it's kind of like,
sounds like you did this before.
Huh? Yeah, if they're kind of like low, like we feel great, I'm like, what? How do you feel? All of them will be like, we feel great, and it's awesome, like instilling that in their mind, like, and I say, when you feel good, you play good, like they'll respond back, and it's just those little affirmations that I feel like doing, that for them as a kid, maybe it'll help them in the future, maybe they'll remember, oh. Maybe they'll be at a seminar and someone will say, if you act how you feel how you act, and they'll be like, hey, my coach said that, like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'm like, man, I'm so busy. I don't want to go and ref or coach or, do whatever. But then I think I'm like, man, maybe, those kids down the line will say like, oh, my coach did this or, yada, yada. So it's good to start them off early, man, and yeah, just give back, I guess.
Yeah, I was reminded of a story right now about this. I saw this guy. He's a teacher also, and I think it's before or after every class or once a week. he lines all the students up, and all the students come up one by one, come up to him, and he tells the student, "Hey, I love this about you. This is what you did this week. I love what you did this week. I love that about you." And just like affirming them, their behavior is good, you know. And he's, every student, he tells every student in his class, "I love what you did this week. This is what I like. This is what I like about you this week. Yeah. This is what I like what you did." And a lot of kids, they don't get that, dude. At home, it's all negative. Like there's too many parents out there that say, "You can't. Don't do. No, you can't do that. No, 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 you can't. You can't make $1 million. No, you can't do that." You know, I think that's the sad part, man. I want to install like you can. It's possible.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you got to say no to the, the bad things that they do. No, you can't do that. No, it's like sometimes it's so hard to replace the no's, but you gotta. I think I heard, I don't know where I heard this, but you gotta catch them, in their moments when they're good.
Yeah.
You catch them and you like, and those moments where they did something small that's good, like, oh, thank you so much for helping your sister, or
Yeah.
like just the little
Acknowledging.
acknowledging, yeah, like catch them in those moments
Yeah.
where they're like, what? I feel good, and
Yeah.
it's funny. I do it to my kids sometimes, and I try to do it more and more. But it's like, my oldest, I'll just see her like blushing, like, really, you know what I mean? But it's, it's cool though, because it's like you think about it like us, like I mean, as adults too,
Yeah.
what's the saying we've always heard, for recognition.
Babies
Yeah.
cry for it.
Soldiers die for it.
Soldiers die for it, recognition, man. So everybody loves a good pat on the back,
It's kind of like on Saturday, my oldest son had a track meet, and I recorded. It's kind of funny, and he was doing these. They're like called shovel hurdles, to where it's like the whole team's doing it. So you're like one guy's running. It's almost like a relay. One guy runs across, does the hurdles going towards you, and as soon as he reaches you, the next person goes the other opposite direction and does the hurdles, and tags the other guy, and that guy, and so forth. And my son, he actually messed up when it came to him, and he's really good at hurdles, and he's pretty quick, and he usually has really good timing. And in the video, you could see that he tripped himself up a little bit, and he was really upset at himself, because he felt like, because they ended up placing as a team. I believe it was like third.
Yeah.
When they could have placed, he's all like, "Man, if it wasn't for me, we could have placed first," And I was like, "But at least you finished it." I was like, "You could have just gave up, fell to the ground, and not continued after you tripped yourself up. But you finished it. That's what counted. You guys, at least out of, I don't know how many schools, it must have been at least 15, 20 different schools there. I was like, out of 15, 20 different schools there, you guys placed third still." I was like, "You could have gave up when you tripped yourself up, but you didn't. You kept going. That's what counts."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I know you were upset at yourself because you're a lot better, but hey, mistakes happen. Errors are gonna happen. Life is gonna throw obstacles at you. You're gonna trip up. It's whether you keep going that counts. Yeah, he could have done a lot better, but so what? He kept that. It was the. You guys, I'm gonna show you guys a video. I filmed it. He actually cussed in the. I don't know if you could hear it, but I could hear him say "fuck," as he tripped himself up. And he was just like so down on himself, because he knows how much better he could be. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's all right, It's like you finished it, you still finished it. You could have gave up, not gone all the way across, and finished the rest of the hurdles, and so your next teammate can continue. Because I seen it. I seen there was individuals falling left and right, and some guys would. I seen a guy eat it, and he just pretty much gave up. He walked off to the side, and he was just like, and had to hear his coach had to tell him, kind of finish it. The other guy still gotta go on. But that's where it made me proud of him. Like, you finished it.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. You tripped yourself up. So what? You finished it.
You always finish strong.
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Gotta finish it. Somebody say steak. Hungry.
I feel like this was a great podcast. We kind of got together. We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
Haven't sat down. So sorry to all our podcast listeners out there. But I think it's good that we get together, whether regardless if our topic makes a lot of sense or not, but just kind of shooting the shit, as we say.
Shooting the shit.
Smoky nights, chilling, smoking hookah, and just having a normal conversation.
Yep.
And I can't wait till actually we are full time, because as we talk, we all do have our full time jobs and run a part time / full time business on the side, and it's tough, man. I think about our dreams and our goals and our aspirations and where we want to go, and maybe people that are listening, they got their goals and dreams and everything working for it, and it's tough sometimes. Like, man, fuck, when are we gonna get there, man? When are we gonna get to our destination?
The big
and,
break.
I don't know, man.
It's never a big break, man. You got to make that break.
Gotta make that break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make it.
Just gotta stay on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just go. Like driving to Texas, man. I didn't know where I was going. I could only see as far as the lights would let me see. In the middle of the night. So I drove at night. Most of the time it was middle of the night. I could only see as far as the lights will let me see. But I knew there was a road there.
I guess you had a purpose. Your purpose was to get to Texas.
Yeah, I had a purpose.
Yeah.
So our purpose is to, I guess it's different. We all kind of have an end in mind purpose, to be there for our families, to be wealthy and well off, and to be able to give back and provide and take care of our families.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we all know what our purpose is. We just gotta stay on the road and get there.
There's actually a book called The Purpose Driven Life.
I heard
by
that.
Rick
Yeah,
Warren?
I've never read it,
Rick
but yeah.
Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome book.
Good book.
Yeah, it is a
Awesome,
really
awesome
good
book.
book.
Then we one night
It was
stay
like
up
a
and watch his movie or something like
it's
that.
like a
one time.
New York
No.
Times. I think it's like a international bestseller.
It's a great book.
It's a great book.
It's just really,
Yeah. I read it years
whether
ago.
you believe in Christian beliefs or not, it's a great book. It really breaks down your purpose of your life, and I highly recommend it to anyone listening to definitely pick up the book. Pick up the book on Amazon. Pick up the book anywhere. Go to a library, rent a book. It's a really, really good book. And there's tons of good books out there. And
For free. Just go to the library.
let's go to the library, pick it up. I think, someone once told me, the most important room in a person that's completely wealthy is the library. His office where all the libraries are. That's the most important place in the house is the library. What can you give back when you pass away? Your library. You can forward those books to every single person you know. You can leave back pictures, you can leave back videos, and of course your journals and your library. Yeah,
Jim
you can
Rome
leave
said journal.
Yeah, journal.
Jim Rome.
Your books.
I guess if you really think about it, we're kind of documenting our journey, sitting here talking and, doing our podcasts and doing our mundane. And, our kids will, one day be on YouTube, be like, oh man, that's my dad. So didn't really think about it till you actually said that right now. So all this documentation, everything that we're journaling, sort of say right now, is going to be there forever for our children's children's children.
Yep.
Maybe by then they'll have these microchips in their head where they could just, hey, I YouTube it and I just press my wrist. I just seen something where it's like, dude, they're implanting like literally a chip, and so where it's like in your skin. That's why I got that from. It's like literally your whole life. They're gonna scan your wrist, and there's your whole life.
What is that? The Born ultimatum?
Yeah. I was like, you don't even gotta look at a computer screen. It's right here in my head.
And look, everybody's gonna blow up.
Dude, it's
It's
crazy.
gonna be a
They're
kill
coming
switch.
out with some crazy stuff out there right now. It's just, I've been looking at some stuff. I'm just like, wow, this is a whole nother world.
Man, don't vote for Trump. No, I'm just kidding. Get chips in you.
Get
Yeah,
in
man.
your
They want to
head, man.
microchip everybody.
You can. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You could vote for Trump. I'm just saying, what are you gonna eat? If all the Mexicans leave, what are you gonna eat? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna do all the stuff you don't want to do? You were.
It's kind of funny. I seen a little picture on Facebook, and it shows a Mexican lady, and right next to her, it's another individual, a homeless man. Looks young. I mean, he made it look no more than like maybe 30, 31. And she's pushing flowers, and he has a sign,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not gonna judge him. I don't know what he's going through. Who knows? It could be he could be in a different mindset. Maybe drugs got to him, but it's just that picture is really like, I know this individual. She probably don't speak a lick of English, but she's out there pushing flowers, and this
Yeah.
individual's out there just
Begging.
like, I mean, to each his own, but to me, it just put me in a place where I'm just like, wow, it's really a choice, man.
Yeah.
It really is a choice.
Yeah.
Even if the we live in the greatest country in the world, you could go down if you really have it hard. You could go down. You have a social security number and apply for some type of help. They could lead you to these workplaces where I did it. I have no shame in saying it. I worked at a place where I was getting minimum wage. It's called labor ready. They hire anybody. Everybody and anybody. It's called labor ready. They'll pay you minimum wage, and you pick up shifts at different companies. They set you on I was set on a text to work, where you literally they'll text you, hey, we have a job, 4 hours, everything's minimum wage, but there's no excuse.
No
You know?
excuse.
There is no excuse.
For you listeners
was
sitting there, you bums,
busting
you
my
get
butt.
up and
I was
get a
picking
job.
up shifts everywhere. I worked with a garbage man. I worked laying down, covering the Angel Stadium for a concert, watching all these union guys getting. They were telling me how much they got paid. I'm just like, dude, don't even talk to me. I'm getting paid minimum wage doing all your guys' crappy work, But there's no excuse. I could sit there and cry and whine like, nah, I had to feed my kids. I'm gonna go work. So I don't know. Just I guess some peanuts, you guys. Food for thought. It's all a mindset.
Well, it's like something I was reminded of. Somebody told me, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't do both.
Okay.
You either do it or you make an excuse. Pick up some oranges, freaking sell them. Dude, I love this. Last summer, I think like 2 summers ago, or last summer, I saw this. No, it was last summer. It was really, really hot, man. Really, really hot. And I saw this guy off the freeway, like not far from here, and he was selling cold water, bottled water for $1. I gave that fool $5, and I was like,
Oh
"Just
yeah,
keep
I
it."
seen one guy like that off the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave
and his sign. His
I
sign.
gave him $5 too for 2 waters.
Yeah, his sign said, "I'm not lazy.
Lazy.
I'm just homeless."
I seen that
I
guy
seen
right
that.
off the
He's
22.
off the
I got off
beach.
on Hastert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "What,
That guy
dude?
was
This guy's dope."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude."
I gave him $5 for 2 waters. There was a
Yeah,
guy
man.
like that right off the
It
freeway.
was a white guy too. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh heck yeah, dude!"
Yep.
Heck yeah,
It was
dude.
a hot ass day
It was a
too.
hot day.
Hey,
His
yeah.
sign said, "I'm not lazy. I'm just homeless."
Yeah. I
Dude.
remember. I ran into that guy.
Dude, I freaking took a picture. I put it. I was like, "If you see this guy, give him money. This guy's dope. This guy is a hustler. This guy just has a bad situation right now, but he's gonna work his way out of it
Yep.
because he's not lazy. He didn't make excuses.
Nope.
He didn't make any excuses.
I'm sure those waters cost some money.
He invested into making more money. His water's costing money. Just buy it for $1, dude. What are those at Costco? Those things are like $4, right?
I don't know. Read something.
Three something?
for a case
Yeah,
of like
plus
48.
CRV or
Plus
whatever,
CRV.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comes
That's
to like
a
5 something.
5 something. It's a 24 or
40
40 something?
40, at least 40.
Yeah, something like that.
At least 40 waters.
bro. He's coming up.
Yeah.
You buy back ice and get an ice, dude. You could literally, if you don't have a Costco card or a Sam's Club card, just stand outside and say, "Hey, here's some money. Can you bring me back a box of water and some ice? Here's the money. I don't have a Costco card, but here." And then sell it to that fool right away. And then stand outside of Costco. "Hey, man, it's a hot day. Here you go. Want a water? $1.
Don't make excuses.
He wasn't making excuses, man. He's not lazy. He's just in a bad situation.
Just got to figure it out.
He's figuring it out. He's on his journey to figure it out. I
He
bet
did
you
it.
that guy is not in the same situation it is his last year.
No, probably not.
He's been out of it.
It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. I think that's the number one thing, like we were mentioning earlier. One thing is people are so afraid of actually just taking the first step and moving forward. And I think that's the number one reason why people fail. They're just so scared. They're scared of failing. They're scared of failing, and I think that's the reason why people fail. And they all have these goals. They all have these ideas, and all have these thoughts. And it's like like Les Brown said, the richest area in the world is the graveyard. Because there's so many ideas, there's so many inventions, and there's so many things that people thought of that never took action. And they carry to the grave with them. The richest place in the world is the graveyard. And people are just so afraid. We have all these ideas, but we don't take action. And I think David View, he sent me a text, and I still I cared about it, I read it all the time. He says there's 3 things I do very well. Number 1, I learn. Number 2, I work hard, and number 3, I do number 1 and number 2 very well. And he just does it more than anyone else. You learn something. It's that gentleman that you're saying standing off the side of the freeway. He learned how to go buy water. He learned how to buy the ice. Probably bought a foam ice chest. Threw it in there, and he just did it. And he learned, look, I bought the water bottles, say a 24-pack at, I don't know, whatever, Walmart costs $4. I just made $20 profit selling the, let's just say everything costs him, $10? And he made $14 profit. I just made a $14 profit. Let me take that money, invest in another $10 or whatever amount it is to get water, ice, and do it again.
Yeah.
How many times a day can he do it?
Yeah.
As many times as he wants.
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot to turn my phone off. No.
The reason why all our phones are ringing at the same time is someone's calling the business line at the same time.
We got other people to answer it though. Hopefully they answered it. But another reason though, man, it's like yeah, you could want to take risks, but I think it's like the victim's mentality is what hold people back. I got a victim. I can't do this because this is what happened to me. It's like I think Les Brown said this too. Like there was a story. He told a story of 2 guys grew up in a bad situation, a bad home, or no, 2 guys that got laid off. One guy went out and tried to find a job, and worked really hard at getting the job. Right? Same situation. The other guy didn't do anything and killed himself. He's a victim. He's like, I got laid off. I can't do anything in life. I can't do nothing. He's a victim mentality. I can't do this because of this. I got laid off. I'm not good enough to do this because I was never taught this, or I can't read because I was never taught to read, or I never had money to pick up a book, or I can't go to the library because I don't have a car. Well, there's another mentality that says I can't do it. I need to do this because I don't have this. I need to go get a book because I don't know the knowledge, or I need to get a job because I don't have one, or I need to buy some bottled water because I have no other option. It's not because they're blaming. It's like people always like to blame things. Like people like to blame the government for being broke. That's not the government's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for being broke.
We all have the same opportunities.
We all have the same opportunity.
I mean, you could literally start a business in one day.
Yeah.
You go down to the Board of Equalization, Google it. You don't need anything else. You Google anything, and you say, I want to apply for a business.
Yeah.
I want to get an EIN number.
Yeah.
You go down to the city and say, I want whatever city you're in. Say, I want to open up a convenience store. What do I need? Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody. Absolutely anybody. So it's like there's no excuse, you guys. There really is no excuse. I'm gonna share a little story. I'm trying to make it quick. Um, it was actually years ago. I don't think I ever shared it with you, Kareem, but I was actually down in Newport Beach, right off of I think it's 32nd. There's a Carl's Jr. right there, and I was actually going down to the beach, and I was walking to that Carl's Jr. and this one guy, living out of his car, he actually approached me, and he was like, looked like he was down on his luck. Obviously, it seemed like he had his whole life in his car. I remember seeing a little laptop, and this was years ago. I think I was probably like 18 years old, and he was asking me for some money, and but the way he approached me, he was like, "Look, man, I don't want to just ask you for money. You look very young. I just, I'm a little down on my luck. I'm just, He's told me straight up he really wanted a beer, you know." And I was just like, I was 18 years old, I was like, I had money in my pocket, I was like, you know what? How about you buy me a beer as well? I'll drink it with you. And we actually did. And it's funny, true story. And actually, he went. I gave him the money. I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait right here. I waited right by his car, and he went and bought a couple of beers. I don't even remember what kind of beers he bought, but we're actually talking. And this guy was actually he used to be a very successful businessman. He used to have a lot of money, and he was showing me. I remember pictures, like literally pictures. This is before we even had picture phones, because it was like I think it was like in 2001 or 2002, and
You mean camera phones?
yeah, camera phones, whatever. But this guy was showing me pictures of. I remember like his house and his cars and all kinds of stuff. I'm just like, what happened? Like what happened? I just remember him telling me that he made a lot of bad investments, but he never regretted anything he did because at least he tried it. He's like, I have tried so many different types of businesses. I succeeded in a lot, I've lost a lot, and I tried it and I did it all over again. He's like, right now, I've never been this low in my life. And literally, I'm telling you guys, he had like a laptop in there. He had all kinds of stuff in there in his car, his whole life. But what tripped me out, I'll never forget, in his back seat, he had a bunch of just like nice suits. I'm just like, man, you have all these suits. Why don't you go sell them? He's just like, nah, because that's where I'm going to be again one of these days. And I'll never forget this story. I can't even remember that guy's name, but I remember he had a bunch of suits in his back, all folded nice. It looked like they were just came out of the dry cleaners, And I was just like, well, why don't you sell your suits? He's like, nah, because that's gonna be me again. He's all like, I'm gonna go back. He's all like, I'm down on my luck. My wife left me. He lost everything. I'll never forget. That was like probably the most bitterest beer I ever had. Like this guy, just seeing him, just like wow. Like, and I mean, I was underage drinking, guys. He bought me a beer. He wanted a beer. I was like, why don't you just buy us both a beer?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never forget that. It was just like I seen this guy's whole life. He just sharing pictures with me. I don't know why I did it. To this day, I don't know why I did, but I just remember this guy. Just something about him just drew me. But just seemed like wow. This guy's just down on his luck, man, but he's not giving up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go back to that.
It's inspiring, man.
It was. At that time I was just like, wow,
I think he knows if he's done it before, he could do it again.
Yeah.
He knows he could do it again.
Yeah.
That's totally
He's
different.
selling water now.
He's selling.
Who
He started
knows
out
where
selling
he's at
water.
now, but man, this was years
That'd
ago.
be
This was
cool.
like
That'd be
2002.
so cool, man, to find out. If you
Yeah.
like ever run into him again, and
Yeah.
tell us that story on the podcast. That'd be dope to find out where he's at now and
Like,
how.
remember, I bought you.
Bro,
you bought me the beer,
dude,
I gave
If
you the money.
ever see that guy again, he has to be on our podcast.
For real. I remember when I was
That'd be
young, I
dope.
used to do something like that. Like me and my friends used to grab these bums off the street and go take them to a hometown buffet, because I wanted to know what the hell you did to fuck up your life, so I don't do that shit. I was like, I need to know what the fuck, because I had some bad teachers. Like, you never amount to nothing, whatever. Never listened to them, but I knew I'm not gonna do what the fuck that nigga did. Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna do what the fuck that guy did. That guy fucked up. And I took him out. I would take him out to go to homebound buffet. I was like, bro, you don't owe me nothing. All you need to do is talk to me and let me know what you did, because I
Wrong.
don't want to do that shit.
But I think at the end of the day, at the end of our lives, there's a few things that we I personally feel that we can only do. Number one is be the best person that we can be, better than yesterday. Wait, let me rephrase that. Be better than we were yesterday. There we go. That's it. Be better than we were yesterday. Constantly improving all the time. Constantly improving ourselves so our association can keep growing and keep developing. That way, our children will be like, hey, I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep developing because they see what you do. And if you're just stagnant and that's it, your kids will be okay. That's cool. But if I think our kids, because I'm almost thinking I'm gonna have as you know, baby Din's gonna be born in September.
Woo!
And that's all I can think about. What can I do so the time baby Din starts growing up and seeing his father, or seeing his father like do something like, man, I just want him to be like, or him or her to be like, hey, daddy's doing a great job. Like that was saying. So who's your hero? It won't be Jordan. It won't be Kobe. It won't be Steph Curry. It won't be none of that. It'll be dad. That's cool. That's there for me. That's at home. That's kicking it. That's still playing basketball, rolling around, doing whatever. And I think that's like, man, I want that. I envision it, and that's all I want, and that's probably one of the reason why I work so hard. And I think I work hard, but I know I can do better, and I'm always trying to learn new things, developing my skills because I want that in the future. I want to be like, hey, let's go. Let's go to Disneyland today. Let's just hang out at the beach today in the middle of the day. While all the other dads are at work or whatever it is. I just want to be like, hey, let's go. I can be on the field trip. I'll be the only dad on the field trip. I don't know. That's how I envision the future, and that's all I want. And I think if you know your purpose, you know your why. That's all that matters, and you're gonna do whatever it takes to get yourself there.
Yeah, man. We should end on that.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, this is the BDF podcast, Smoky Nights with BDF. If you liked it, listen to it, share it, love it, take a picture of it, do whatever you want, share with your friends. This podcast is always brought to you by Bring the Fire. That's bringthefire.com. Man, let us know what your feedback is.
Let's go out with a smoke hit.
Go out.